Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am just Mike, and you are watching and you are listening to episode number 21 of The Rock Out Wild Show. If you are new to this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell to get all of the content that I upload on this very channel. You can also like this video. You can also share episode 21 of the Rock Out Wild Show to everyone that you know and spread the word about the Rock Out Wild Show as well. I am your host, Just Mike, and for this very episode, I will be ranking my top 20 favorite Epica songs of all time. Plus, I have another album review, and it's for Epica's latest, Aspiral, as well as I'm going to rank all 9 studio albums by Epica from my least favorite to most favorite. So it's a triple dosage of the band Epica. Now, if you don't know who Epica is, they are a symphonic metal band, and they're Dutch as well. The lead singer is Simone Simmons, and she is an incredible singer. To me, Epica is probably the last great symphonic metal band out there. Nobody can touch them. They are on another level altogether. All of those things that I will be talking about will be the main event of this very show. Plus, I'm going to do On This Day for music, wrestling, film, and television for May 21st. And to kick things off for episode 21, I am going to react to an old movie review of mine called Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. So let's start up the webcam, and hey, everybody, let's react to this review of mine. So we will start presenting here. Share screen. Let's go to the review. All right. It looks like I remember this movie being in black and white, and it looks like I have that effect on this video, which is a nice touch. So I am about to react to my own movie review of mine for Sin City: A Dame to Kill For in 3, 2, 1, action. If I were to describe Sin City: A Dame to Kill For, it would be a real pretty prostitute who does have some flaws inside of her, but she's still damn pretty to look at. Again with the creative intros. Hey, what is up, all movie fans in the Movieverse? Welcome to the Mike McRock Movie Review YouTube channel. Right now I'm going to talk about a movie called Sin City. And Sin City is one of those film noir type of movies where it's in black and white with a bit of color. It's very visually outstanding, and that's one of the best things I liked about this movie. This movie done so much on the visual aspect, the 3D elements, the color elements, the black and white elements, even that other effect that I can't even describe was really, really cool and fun to watch. Although there was some things that in this movie that kind of fell short, in my opinion, and I'll get to that later on this review. All right. So in this movie, you have like around 3 or 4 different stories of all these different people who intertwine in this movie. Right. And this movie has an all-star cast. This movie has Mickey Rourke, who plays Marv. He's a real badass with a lot of prosthetics on his face, and it's really hard to convey a lot of human emotions when you have so many prosthetics on your face. It's just hard to use a lot of facial expressions, but still, less is, even when it comes to prosthetics, less is more. It's incredible in this movie. What a badass this guy was, shooting up the entire place, riding around on his motorcycle along with Jessica Alba. And speaking of Jessica Alba, compared to the first movie of Sin City, she was much better in this role. And as Nancy in this movie, I thought she had a lot more dark elements into her character. Probably one of the most interesting
character developments in this movie was Jessica Alba. She was great in this movie. You also have Josh Brolin as Dwight, who also had this dark grittiness type of role, kind of replacing Clive Owen in this movie. You also had Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and I really
Oh,
like his story in this movie. Uh, there's a
yes.
story with him and the main villain, Powers Booth, and there's something going on
Oh,
there.
Powers Booth, Powers
Joseph
Booth.
Gordon-Levitt is this guy who comes into the town, and he is an over the top kind of character who's a gambler who always wins at every gambling game he's being played in. And I really like his scene with him and Christopher Lloyd. And the
Christopher
funny thing
Lloyd.
is that he just
I forgot the hell what I was selling.
when he was in Angels in the Outfield, he'd done a scene with Christopher Lloyd. He'd done that movie. He wrote Don John with Tony Danza, and now he is in a
Hmm,
scene here with Sin City with Christopher Lloyd.
nice, nice.
He comes full circle here, and he was incredible. And that scene itself with him and Christopher Lloyd was definitely the most interesting and the most funniest scenes in the entire movie, without a doubt. And you also have Bruce Willis in this movie, who's kind
Bruce
of like
Willis.
his role in The Sixth Sense. And if you've seen The Sixth Sense, you'll
By the
know
way, I hope Bruce Willis is doing all right for himself, considering the circumstances.
what I'm talking about. And Powers Booth.
Oh my
Powers Booth
God,
is
Powers Booth.
definitely an underrated villain. He was
Yeah.
awesome as a villain, and I would definitely nominate him for Villain of the Year. And you
Mm-hmm.
also have guys like Ray Liotta, who was
Ray
good in this
Liotta.
movie. You also
Oh
have
my
Christopher
God.
Maloney in this movie and Jeremy Piven as well. I
Oh,
thought the story involving Christopher Milioni and Eva Green was kind of unnecessary,
Eva
but
Green.
it still got
Yeah.
the point across and it established Eva Green's character as this real vindictive, you know
Vindictive.
what type of
Yeah.
role. And she's not
Biatch.
afraid to show her skills. And I thought Eva Green was definitely one of the most great actors in this movie. There were a lot of actors in this movie I thought was they were great in their roles. When it comes to the acting department, I really enjoyed the acting. This was one
Yeah.
of those movies where I can say this movie done well in the acting department. However,
I think in most cases, when it comes to, or when it comes to movies with an all-star cast of that caliber, uh, you expect the acting to be really good anyway.
my only nitpicky issue with the people involved in this movie was that they're not given enough time in this movie to tell us their stories. And the funny thing is, this movie is called A Dame to Kill For, and that story in itself involving Josh Brolin and Eva Green was probably the most uninteresting story and was kind of getting predictable and a little boring. It was kind of getting dragged out. If they took that story out of the movie and then just focused and concentrated on other parts of the movie, this movie will probably be a lot better.
Right.
But I still had a real fun time with this movie. You can compare this movie to Pulp Fiction. It had that real greeniness about it. It had awesome visual effects,
That kind of movie.
very visual. This movie was just
Visual.
visually driven, and it done that very well. So
Mhm.
overall, I would rate this movie 78 points out of
Oh,
100.
nice,
If you
nice
saw
high
Sin
score.
City: A Dame to Kill For, what did you think about it? Feel free to chime in, comment below, and let me know. While you're at it, you can also hit that subscribe button down below this video to get Mick Rocked.
Yeah, so that was my movie reaction slash review for my old movie review for Sin City: A Dame to Kill For. 78 points out of 100. That seems like a decent ranking for that movie. I don't remember much in terms of the story and what happens in it. I wouldn't mind getting a rewatch out of that movie. And that will be it for my reaction and my takeaway from this review. Let's get into what you really came for episode 21 of the Rock Out Wild Show, and that is the stuff that happened on this day for May the 21st. So let's share screen, and let's look what happened in movie and television history for May 21st. And we're going all the way back to 1908 to start things off with the first American horror movie silent film, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It premiered in Chicago on that day, on May 21st. In 1922, Roland Kirby's On the Road to Moscow is the first cartoon to receive Pulitzer Prize. All right. In 1955, WFRV TV Channel 5 in Green Bay, Wisconsin, ABC-NBC begins broadcasting. In 1956, WITI TV Channel 6 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, CBS-ABC, begins broadcasting. And we have a little bit of music history within the film and television here. In 1959, Jules Stein and Stephen Sondheim's musical Gypsy starring Ethel Merman and Jack Klugman opens at Broadway Theater, later transferring to the Imperial, New York City, and it runs for 702 performances. In 1966, James Goldman's stage drama The Lion in Winter, starring Robert Preston, Rosemary Harris, and Christopher Walken, closes at the Ambassador Theater, New York City, after 92 performances and an Tony Award win for Harris. In 1968, Paul McCartney and girlfriend Jane Asher attend an Andy Williams concert. In 1968, WEKW, TV Channel 52 in Keene, New Hampshire, PBS, it begins broadcasting. In 1977, Albert Inargurato's stage comedy Gemini opens at the Little Theater in New York City, and it runs for 1,819 performances. A little bit more on the side of music history here. In 1980, Star Wars Episode V, Empire Strikes Back, produced by George Lucas, opens in cinemas in the UK and North America. In 1981, Kim Seelbreed in Ohio crowned 30th Miss USA. In 1982, WKRP in Cincinnati, an ensemble TV sitcom created by Hugh Wilson and set in a struggling radio station. 90th and final episode airs on CBS. In 1988, Weird Al Yankovic's Fat, a parody of Michael Jackson's Bad, hits number 99. In 1990, 43rd Cannes Film Festival Wild at Heart, directed by David Lynch, starring Nicolas Cage and Laura Dern, wins the Palme d'Or. In 1990, last episode of Newhart airs on CBS TV with a special twist of an ending. In 1993, Dainara Torres, 18 of Puerto Rico, crowned 42nd Miss Universe. In 1997, Emmy 24th Daytime Award presentation, Susan Lucci loses for the 17th time. Wouldn't you want the winner instead of the loser? I am just saying. In 1999, All My Children stars Susan Lucci finally wins a Daytime Emmy, there you go, after being nominated 19 times, the longest period of unsuccessful nominations in television history. So that's why they put it up there. In 2003, the 38th Academy of Country Music Awards, Toby McKeith, Martina McBride, and Kenny Chesney win. In 2013, Microsoft announces the release of Xbox One, a little bit of on this day in games within the movies and television here. In 2015, Flavor Flav is arrested near Las Vegas on charges including speeding and driving under the influence. In 2018, former U.S. President Barack Obama and Michelle Obama signed deal with Netflix to produce films and series. In 2023, I Am Tongai wins Season 21 of American Idol, first person of Pacific Island descent to win. In 2023, Ukrainian president, I am not going to pronounce that name at all, but you see it up there on the screen. Well, he makes a surprise appearance at G7 Summit in Hiroshima, Japan, with world leaders also making a statement to condemn Chinese acts of economic caution. And that will be all for film and television on this day for May 21st. Now let's look at some of the stuff that happened on May 21st in the world of professional wrestling. And there's a picture of Biker Undertaker right there. And let's see what we have. In 1995, WCW presented Slambor, a Legends reunion in St. Petersburg, Florida. The main event saw Hulk Hogan brother and Macho Man Randy Savage defeat Vader and Ric Flair. Earlier on the card, the Nasty Boys defeat Harlem Heat for the WCW Tag Team Championship. In the year 2000, WWE presented Judgment Day from Freedom Hall in Louisville, Kentucky. And no, not the wrestling group. We're talking about the pay-per-view events here. And the main event saw Triple H defeat The Rock to win the WWF Championship in an Iron Man match with Shawn Michaels as the special guest referee. The final score was 6-5. The deciding fall was awarded to Triple H by disqualification when The Undertaker made his return after an 8-month injury absence. Gone was the Dead Man persona, and in its place, the American Badass character was seen for the first time. I have to say, before I go any further, that was actually an impressive debut. In the year 2001, in one of the most famous and best bouts in Monday Night Raw history, Chris Jericho and the Invisible Man defeated the two-man power trip Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin to win the WWF Tag Team Championship. During the bout, Triple H suffered a quad tear that would keep him out of action until January 2002. Miraculously, he still managed to finish the bout almost as planned. That is insane. In the year 2006, WWE's Judgment Day pay-per-view took place at the U.S. Airways Center in Phoenix, Arizona. The main event saw Rey Mysterio defeat John Bradshaw Layfield to retain the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Also on the card, Booker T defeated Bobby Lashley to win King of the Ring tournament. And the WWE Tag Team Championship changed hands when Paul London and Brian Kendrick defeated MNM, Johnny Nitro, and Joey Mercury, along with Melina. In 2011, Sinclair Broadcasting, one of the largest media companies in the USA, announced that they have purchased Ring of Honor. Also in 2011, Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor VI took place at the Frontier Fieldhouse in Chicago Ridge, Illinois. In the main event, Eddie Edwards retains the ROH World Championship against Roderick Strong. And in 2017, WWE SmackDown brand presented the Backlash pay-per-view from the Allstate Arena in Chicago, Illinois. The main event saw one of the most surprising championships in WWE history crowned when Jinder Mahal defeated WWE World Champion Randy Orton. And you don't hinder the Jinder. And then we got some notable wrestling birthdays on May 21st. We have Andy Boy Simmons in 1984. Born in 83, May 21st, Leva Bates. In 78, Danielle Ronmere. The Invisible Man was born on this day, on May 21st in 1967, as you saw there. The reason why I call him the Invisible Man is because he no longer exists. That's why the WWE is. It's pretty much erasing from history. That's why I call Chris Benoit the Invisible Man, in case if you're wondering. A woman. And what a weird coincidence that a woman is right below Chris Benoit. Oh my God. Well, she was born on this day, May 21st in 1964, and I pity the fool Born in 1952, it's Mr. T. And that is all the things that happened on this day, for May 21st, in the world of professional wrestling. Now let's look what happened on this day in the world of music. And as you see there's a picture of someone. I'm not sure exactly who that is, but we will read on. Oh, Marvin Gaye. That's who it is. Now I see it. Yeah, I see it now. So, what happened on May 21st in the world of music in the years past? Well, on this day, May 21st, 1971, Marvin Gaye released his celebrated 11th studio album, What's Going On? The concept album, which revolved around the bittersweet homecoming of a Vietnam vet, delivered pointed social commentary about inequality in America. A landmark title, What's Going On, marked a turning point in Gaye's career, finding the Prince of Motown, swapping upbeat singles from honest and introspective lyricism. Considered to be one of the greatest albums of all time, the LP was met with broad critical acclaim and commercial success, remaining on the Billboard 200 for more than a year and spawning several hit singles, including the title track, Mercy, Mercy Me, and Inner City Blues, Make Me Wanna Holler. In 1955, Chuck Berry recorded Maybelline, his debut single and one of the world's first rock and roll songs, at Chicago's Universal Recording Studio. The tune, which was based around the 1938 Western swing song Outta Red by Bob Willis and his Texas Playboys, instantly appealed to young music fans around the country, breaking through the segregated radio waves. Released via the legendary blues imprint Chess Records, Maybelline topped the Billboard R&B chart and landed in the Hot 100's top 5, effectively launching Berry's career and forever altering the course of popular music. In 1970, on May 21st, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young released their protest anthem, Ohio. The poignant track was written by Young in response to the Kent State Massacre, during which National Guardsmen killed and injured multiple unarmed student protesters who were peacefully opposing the Vietnam War. That is very sad to learn that happened on this day, 1970. In the year 2011, Adele scored her first #1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100 with Rolling in the Deep. Wow, I remember that like it was yesterday. Let's try that again. The Grammy-winning song, which led to her sophomore album 21, held the top spot for 7 weeks, eventually becoming the best-selling digital song ever by a female artist in the US. Elsewhere, Rolling in the Deep topped the charts in more than 20 countries, including Canada, Brazil, Germany, and South Korea. In 1982, Factory Records opened the Ikea Club in Manchester, England. The storied venue would soon become ground zero for the Manchester rave and acid house scene, as well as an incubator for bands like New Order and Happy Mondays. And that's all the stuff that happened in the world of music. And we got some birthdays that happened in the world of music here. We got Fats Waller, who was born in 1904. In 1941, Ronald Isley from the Isley Brothers. Born in 1948, Leo Sayer. In 1955, Stan Lynch, who is a producer and songwriter. The Notorious B.I.G. was born on May 21st, 1972. God rest his soul. Born on 1978 is Adam Gontier from 3 Days Grace, who just got back with the band, and they're doing a tour with the 2 singers, I might add. Also born in 1980 is Gautier, and born on May 21st, 1985, Moutier Buina, from Sugar Babes. And that's the highlights of the happenings that took place in the world of music on May 21st. And now it is time for the main event of this very episode. And this was what I like to call a trifecta of a band. So really the subtitle of this episode of episode 21 would be a trifecta of a band, where I will rank the albums, the songs, and I will do a review of one of their albums. And as you see from the title of episode 21, I have ranking Epica songs. I'm going to start off by ranking my top 20 favorite Epica songs of all time. Just to point this out here, none of the songs on the new record will be on this list. And I'm also going to rank the all 9 studio Epica albums, as well as a review for Aspiral. So I will do the songs first, the review second, and the ranking the albums the last. So, what are my top 20 favorite Epica songs of all time? Well, first, before I do, I have some honorable mentions. Death of a Dream, Universal Dead Squad, Beyond Belief, Monitor of the Free World, Deepwater Horizon, Abyss of Time, and Elusive Consciousness. Kicking things off at number 20 on my favorite Epica songs of all time, Coitus. Number 19, The Skeleton Key. Number 18, Delirium. Number 17, Run for a Fall. At number 16 is Never Enough. Number 15, Our Destiny. Number 14, Blank Infinity. At number 13 on this list is Faint. At number 12, Beyond the Matrix. Number 11 is Unleashed. And then the second half of this list goes like this. At number 10 is Kingdom of Heaven and New Age Dawns. This will be the first part of the Kingdom of Heaven trilogy. Really, when it comes to Kingdom of Heaven, you could really combine all 3 songs. And all 3 songs in total is about 40 minutes. And someone on YouTube has actually put that up. Like, actually put together all 3 parts of Kingdom of Heaven as one song, and it works really well. And the reason why what I might do is just combine all 3 songs here at number 10, Kingdom of Heaven, because Kingdom of Heaven Part 1 is on a different album than Kingdom Part 2 or Part 3. So that's why I'm going to combine all 3 and put it at number 10. Coming in at number 9 on this list, Facade of Reality. At number 8, one of my favorite ballads from their album Omega, Rivers. At number 7, the title track to their very first album, The Phantom Agony. Coming in at number 6 on this list is probably my favorite Epica ballad on this list, Solitary Ground. At number 5 on this list, The Obsessive Devotion. Coming in at number 4, Consigned to Oblivion. At number 3, Cry for the Moon. At number 2 on this list is Chasing the Dragon. And my number 1 favorite Epica song of all time, it is The Divine Conspiracy. The title track to their album, Divine Conspiracy. And now that I have ranked my top 20 favorite Epica songs of all time, let's talk about their latest album, Aspiral. Now, going into this album, I was really looking forward to this. I was hyped. I was ready for it when the first single was released. I was ready for it, and Cross the Divide came out, and Time came out, and I was just really, really excited. Their track record when it comes to their albums has been really, really good. Um, Again, this is something I have been hyped and ready for a good while. So, what's this album all about? Well, Aspiral has 11 tracks. It is 61 minutes in length, and it is Epica's ninth studio album, and they are a Dutch symphonic metal band. Really, the best thing about Aspiral is the sound. The sound has incredible size, it has incredible impact, it has incredible depth, and just overall volume. I am absolutely in love with the soundscape of this record. This sounds like a live record inside a studio. These songs sound larger than life. You feel like you are in a stadium as Epica is playing these songs right in front of you. If And this also has great production behind it, and with that great production comes with a great live vibe to it. And to make all the elements work here, um, really the one thing you really got to talk about is the drums in this record. The drums sound on this album is absolutely magnificent. I love how full and heavy the drums are at times and how much depth and warmth it gives to the overall sound. And it's not overly produced, but it has that, again, that live essence to it. It has a lot of, this album also has a lot of fantastic orchestra pieces that really impacts the album in a tremendous way. They create a lot of epic moments, the theatrical moments, and symphonic moments. And when it comes to this album, the guitars in this, oh my God, they are heart pounding. They're very noticeable. They are all in the forefront. They're kind of doing their own thing in a way as well. They have their own space where they get the chance to shine and create heaviness and metal into the symphonic metal. Even the bass on this record sounds really damn good in this. When it comes to the vocals in this record, I love Simone's singing throughout this entire thing. I love her delivery in her vocals on this record. She sounds very natural and organic, a lot more so than previous records. It's like she is free to do whatever she wants on this and not have to worry about forcing a song out unnaturally. That's just my take on it. And the album has a lot of choirs, it has a lot of backing vocals, and it has layers on the vocals. And all of that is really important to emphasize the size and the live experience. The harsh vocals play a minimal role in the amounts you are going to get. The growls are spread out throughout the record. I would say about 10% of this record is harsh vocals and 90% are all clean vocals. Really, when it comes to the harsh, there's really not much in there, but I kind of like it. You really don't need much when it comes to the growls, those harsh vocals. And the songs in this, each song has its own path, each song has its own journey. They all have their own destination and they all have layers and texture to them. This album starts off strong with Cross the Divide and it ends strong with the title track. And as far as my favorite songs go on this record, I love the first three songs: Cross the Divide, Arcana, as well as Darkness Dies in Light. And then we got Time, Eye of the Storm, and of course, the title track, A Spiral. What an amazing set of songs on this record. And to really pick a nitpick or something to gripe about, there's really nothing there. The only thing I could really say is that the album cover of this record is weird looking. I kind of get used to it after a while, but it's kind of threw me up in a loop. But that's the only thing. That's the only little, not even a nitpick I have with the album. It really has nothing to do with the insides of the album, but just the album cover of it. It kind of threw me off once I first saw it. But after a while, after the visual of that cover, I got used to it. So overall, I absolutely love this record. And Epica being one of, or if not the last truly great symphonic metal band currently, I don't think any other band could touch them. And Aspiral proves that Epica are on top of the symphonic metal food chain. From the production, the sound, the vocals, every element that makes this record outstanding is all here. This is an easy 9.75 out of 10 type of record. If you listened to Aspiral, tell me, what did you think about it? Feel free to let me know and put that in the comment section as well. And for the final thing on episode 21 of the Rock Out Wild Show, since I ranked the songs and I talked about the album as Spiral, I think and the cool thing is, I've listened to a Spiral more than enough times to feel comfortable of ranking every Epica studio album from number 9 to number 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present the screen again, and I have opened up a tab of all their studio albums. So these are the albums here. The Phantom Agony, which came out in 2003. Consigned to Oblivion, which came out in 2005. The Divine Conspiracy, that came out in 2007. And then we got Design Your Universe, that came out in 2009. And Requiem for the Indifferent, that came in 2012. The Quantum Enigma, which came out in 2014. The Holographic Principle, which came out in 2016. And Omega, which came out in 2021, and the new one that came out this year, A Spiral. So, how do I rank all these studio albums from number 9 to number 1? Well, let's kick things off. Coming in at number 9 on my list of Epica albums, my least favorite, it is Requiem for the Indifferent. Now, when it comes to this record, really not a whole lot of memorable songs on this. Of course, we got the prelude here and Monopoly on Truth, Storm the Sorrow, Delirium, Internal Warfare, Requiem for the Indifferent, Guilty Demeanor, Deepwater Horizons, Stay the Course, Deter the Tyrant, Avalanche, and Serenade of Self-Destruction. And then we got probably a bonus track or two. And there's a box set in the deluxe part of it. Yeah, when it comes to this album, I really don't have much to say about it. It's not one that I listen to a lot, and which is why it's at the very bottom. If I were to pick a favorite song on this album, it would probably be Deepwater Horizon, but that's pretty much it. Coming in at number 8 on this list, the Quantum Enigma. So we're going to look at the Quantum Enigma here. And we'll go to the track listing and see what's on this record. So we got the prelude, obviously, the Second Stone, the Essence of Silence, Victims of Contingency, Sense Without Sanity, Unchained Utopia, The Fifth Guardian, the interlude, Chemical Insomnia, Reverence, Living in the Heart, Omen, The Ghoulish Melody, Canvas of Life, Natural Corruption, and the title track, The Quantum Enigma, Kingdom of Heaven Part 2. If I were to pick a favorite song on this, it would probably be The Essence of Silence. More than likely, The Essence of Silence or Unchained Utopia or the title track. It's one of the three. There's really not, there's not a whole lot to this album that I would go back and listen to other than those 3 songs. So that's why it's at number 8 on my list. Coming in at number 7 of my favorite Epica albums of all time is Consigned to Oblivion. And this is a bit of a light album. when you really think about it, it's not as heavy as some of the other ones on this list. We got songs like Dance of Fate, The Last Crusade, Solitary Ground, which is again my favorite ballad, Blank Infinity, which was the song that introduced me to Epica, Force of the Shore, Cretus, Mother of Light, A New Age Dance Part 2, Troyes Vigris, Another Me and Lek, and the title track Consigned to Oblivion. And if I had to pick a favorite on here, it's definitely the title track Consigned to Oblivion. There are a few songs that I would go back and listen to, but I would go back and listen to them individually and maybe not the overall album. So that's the reason why that album comes in at number 7 on this list. Coming in at number 6, it is The Holographic Principle. Let's have a look of what this album is all about and what the songs are on here. Let's go to the track listing. We got Edge of the Blade, which was probably one of my favorite songs on there. This is actually a pretty decent album. Now we're starting to get into like the separation of numbers 9 through 7. Then we get into the decent ones from 6 to number 4. And obviously the top 3 are great ones. So number 6, The Holographic Principle. If I had to pick a favorite song on this list, it would have to be Beyond the Matrix, followed by Universal Death Squad and Edge of the Blade. And of course, you got other pretty good songs on here. Tear Down Your Walls is a really good closer to end this album. Dancing in a Hurricane is a good one as well. Yeah, they're all good songs. This would be one I would go back a little bit more so than the ones I was talking about previous. So, what is the other part of this list? Coming in at number 5 of my favorite Epica albums of all time, it is Omega. So, Omega was the album that came out in 2021. And if I had to pick a favorite song off this album, it would have to be the Skeleton Key, track 3. Freedom from the Walls Within would be a close second. I love Abyss of Time. Rivers might be one of my top 2 favorites as well. That is a fantastic Epica ballad and a fantastic song all around. This has some good songs on here, which is why it's at number 5 on this list. And of course, you got the title track that is Omega. Coming in at number 4 of my favorite Epica albums of all time, it is the album that started it all, The Phantom Agony, which came out on June 5th, 2003. We got Sensorium, a great Epica song. One of my favorites are on here is Cry from the Moon. Faint is a great one. Elusive Consciousness. Facade of Reality, Wonder Before I Fall, Self El Din, and the title track, The Phantom Agony. If I had to pick a favorite, it would have to be The Phantom Agony. But I think that Facade of Reality would run a really, really tight race for that number 1 spot. And Cry for the Moon would also be really, really high up there when it comes to this album, their very first album, The Phantom Agony. I absolutely love this album to no end. Coming in at number 3. Now we are getting into the top 3 of this list. And at number 3, from 2009, Design Your Universe. So let's look at the track listing and see what's on here. We got Resigned to Surrender, A New Age Dawns, Part IV, Unleashed, Martyr of the Free World, Our Destiny, Kingdom of Heaven, Part V, The Price of Freedom, which is the interlude. Then we got Burned to a Cinder, Ties of Time, which is a really good ballad, Deconstruct, Semblance of Liberty, White Waters, and the title track Design Your Universe. If I had to pick a favorite of this album, as much as the title track is fantastic, I love Kingdom of Heaven. That's one of my favorites on here, as well as Unleashed and Our Destiny. Those would be my favorites of this album. Oh, really, really strong, fantastic album through and through for Epica. And now we only have two albums left. What is at number two? Well, it is the latest, Aspiral. And again, I'm not going to go over this again because I just reviewed the album, but you get why this album is in the runner up position of number two on my favorite Epica albums going right now. And with that being said, my number one favorite Epica album of all time, it came out in 2007, and that is The Divine Conspiracy. From top to bottom, this is out freaking standing. You got the Indigo prologue, which goes into the obsessive devotion. I love that transition from those two tracks. Menace of Vanity, Chasing the Dragon, which is one of my favorite Epica songs, as you heard not too long ago. And then we got Never Enough, Death of a Dream, Living a Lie, Fools of Damnation, Beyond Belief, Safeguard to Paradise, Sancta Terra, and the title track, The Divine Conspiracy. Um, yeah, to me, this is still the single best album by Epica of all freaking time. So that is my list of my favorite Epica albums from number 9 to number 1. And that is episode 21 of the Rock On Wild Show. Right now, I'm going to end this episode with a quote from Perspective of the Day. Your presence is your children's lives. Is Let's try that again. Your presence is your children's lives is a gift that will be cherished forever. Your love, support, and guidance are the building blocks of their memories and the foundation of their confidence. Every moment you spend with them, every hug, every word of encouragement is etched in their hearts. Your presence is a source of strength and comfort for them, shaping their sense of security and belonging. Remember, your role as a parent is irreplaceable, and the love you give will always be remembered. Keep showing up, keep being there, and know that you are making a lasting impact on their lives. And that is episode 21 of the Rock Out Wild Show. I am your host, Just Mike. And on a final note, to all of you watching this episode all around the world, get plenty of rest and always do your best.